get it back. I was a teacher. I wanted to help you.
Welcome to the Regular Menthol Podcast, where we discuss Kino movies. My name is Tate. My co-host here is Mr. Chris.
Hi.
We give our thoughts on the movie, our experience with it, and we discuss specific scenes that we like, following up with our very own Kino rating. Today, we're discussing the 1997 movie 187, starring Samuel L. Jackson and Clifton Collins Jr. Gang, here we are. Another beautiful night in the Commonwealth. How you feeling?
Feeling good? I got news for you.
Okay.
This weekend coming up, this will release the day after, the sumo tournament of July begins.
Oh my God. Who are you rooting for?
Well, it's our regular team, the Fudo Goyama stable.
There you go, folks. Look it up.
So yeah, that begins my 2 weeks of staying up past my bedtime watching sumo.
This is the best thing in the world. You'll text me at like 12 o'clock and be like, hey, bud, sumo's on.
That's the best, man. I don't know why. Just weird to some people, but I think it's hilarious. It's awesome.
Well, sumo
What you got going on, my friend? No, yeah, absolutely.
What do I have going on? I got a lot of things cooking. A lot of things going on in the back burner, making real power moves. Absolutely.
The AI lifestyle? Talking about it?
We're integrating AI into my brain directly. We're becoming one with the internet. The ghost in the shell.
We should do that movie, Ghost in the Shell, with what's her face? Who played her?
Scarlett Johansson. I might have to just refuse on grounds of I've been like getting into the original grounds. I feel like I watched 45 minutes of that movie and I just turned it off.
Yeah, I mean, why would you ever make an actual life? Like, did they they wouldn't even dream of it, but make Akira into a movie? Was that a thing?
Yeah, I mean, they'll do anything these days. The problem, though, is that Ghost in the Shell, the original movie, is so good that you're like, what am I watching this? The nonsense. Show that, this is total nonsense. The show that they came out with, Standalone Complex, is incredible. It's so good. And it's like, just watch that, folks. Just watch the show.
Yeah. Anyhow, what else you got going on? You're in the AI sphere. You're in that realm, that world.
I'm getting AI to audit websites, and it's amazing. You just tell it to audit your website and then tell me what's wrong with it to fix it for Google's purposes, and then it just does it. And it walks you through everything that it does. And any questions that you have, you can ask it, and it'll explain it, and then just do it for you. And then if it needs you to do something, it'll tell you to do it, and then give you
like broken links and shit.
Yes, everything you can imagine.
Really?
If you order an SEO audit on a website, it costs you thousands of dollars or something, and it's just replacing that. So you can go onto your AI tonight and just do the same thing that would cost a business thousands of dollars by hiring some SEO team. You'll probably do it better.
That's good to know. Yeah, but I feel like I have to log in to edit my website at work. So how would it know to just change the things I wanted to change?
Well, you can get things. It depends on what kind of site it is.
Yeah,
like,
I would imagine.
If it's a WordPress site, you can download a little thing on your website.
Extension
to link it to your AI, and then it can just go right into your website and edit everything.
That's pretty gnarly, dude.
Yeah. It's insane. It's actually mind-blowing. It's blowing my mind, actually.
And you use it on our website?
Well, ours isn't really that complex. I made that website with just AI without any kind of like WordPress or anything like that. You can just have AI make you a website by just telling it something, and it'll make you one, and then you can just edit it by telling it what to do.
It's going to take all our jobs.
It's
going to take our jobs.
Well, it's going to take people's jobs maybe that, charge you thousands of dollars and then do like a backlinking report. You know what I mean? Like
I've seen them. Anyhow, talk to me about this movie, 187.
187, aka the movie that taught an entire generation of suburban white kids they were one bad day away from being a Hispanic gangster. Samuel L. Jackson plays a teacher who gets shanked by a student, does the sensible thing, and moves to LA, the one place famous for its calm, well-behaved youth, and slowly discovers that maybe the problem isn't the zip code. What follows is 90s Kino at its finest. Hazy, golden hour cinematography, guys in their late 20s pretending to be high school seniors, chain wallets, and one drunk teacher in a Hawaiian shirt who has already accepted the void. It's the best of the unruly students versus one exhausted man genre. No big fight scenes, no triumphant montage, just a good dude getting steadily blackpilled by the American education system until he's playing Russian roulette in a living room. Christ pilled to start, cooked by the end.
Very nice. I like it. Yeah, dude. This is my movie. It's kind of my movie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not really sure what it is about this movie that I love so much, but I just think it rules. I recall, similar to what you were talking about in the description, like this phase where I was growing up listening to rap music, and I thought I was like a gangster for like 30 minutes. This movie, yeah, Boys in the Hood, Friday, like you said, they're all just these white suburban kid go-to movies if you thought you were a gangster. Like, you ever come across those kids in your hometown?
Yeah, you had a
Were
little
you
bit
one of them?
Not me. You had a little bit of hip-hopness hypnosis, I guess. I do
Mm-hmm.
I do recall a group of kids older than me by like a year or so, really into First Down jackets, shit, like stuff like that when I was in 5th grade.
What is it?
Do you remember First Down jackets at all? This is a 90s thing.
No, I remember starter jackets.
Yeah, no. This is like the hip hop version of that. It was a really trendy brand. First Down.
Bro. No. Is this North Face? The original North Face?
No, it's
Puffy jacket?
Puffy jacket, and they
We
had
just called them puffy jackets. Yeah.
They had a whole brand, but this was 1995. I remember that era.
Yeah, we just called them puffy jackets, but I feel what you're saying. But so this movie came out actually after Dangerous Minds, right? Do you recall this movie at all?
Sure, with Michelle Pfeiffer.
Oh yeah, Coolio.
Mm-hmm.
But I kind of feel like it ripped it off a little bit. But in my opinion, this is absolutely the better movie.
Okay.
Not to mention, you got Coolio coming out with this banger, Gangster's Paradise, that won like multiple awards for Dangerous Minds. And I'll still put up the song. I don't know if you're going to know which song it is in this movie, but it's called Wilderness by V-Love. And it's like, it's the song that plays throughout it. There's so many good songs. Like the soundtrack in this movie is awesome. But it's like this Cali Hispanic vibe that I think kind of rules.
The patrician's choice
in this movie. Yeah. I don't know, man. I vibe out to this movie like so hard. I don't know why. But first time watching this, you recall?
I don't think I ever fully watched this movie growing up. I
Really?
I remember seeing parts of it here and there. I remember it coming out.
Yes.
I can remember thinking to myself, like, oh, 187. That's like the line from the Dr. Dre song, right? Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
like...
I don't know this was ever that popular. Like all the movies growing up, you like Friday's super popular, Boys in the Hood was a big one. But yeah, this one, like as far as gangster movies, I guess, growing up, like kids, high school kids or whatever, Dangerous Minds. I don't even think Dangerous Minds was it really that popular?
I mean, when it came out, I don't know. I was like in 4th grade or something, you know?
I feel like the music video was like the real draw there. Everyone like knew the music video.
Remember that? Yeah.
TV at the time was so big.
Music videos to promote a movie.
Bro, did you see that new Coolio song? Dude, it's sick. Yeah, but I probably saw this. I guess I was 10 when this came out in 97. So not that I saw it in theaters, but I probably watched it with one of my bigger brothers or one of my buddies over at their house. And I just remember it being like super gangster. I'm like, yeah, dude, this is going to be me. I'm going to be a Hispanic gangster when I grow up.
Yeah.
Simple as. Literally me character. I already know who you are. That's a given. You're Dave Childress.
I'm Dave Childress. And Dave Childress is this black-pilled teacher who's been through it all and he's given up and he's just there for a paycheck. But there's a specific scene where I'm like, yes, this is me, where he just is drunkenly in his garage showing Samuel L. Jackson his gun collection. And it's kind of insane, but it'd be something I would do.
Literally you. I guess I would be Stevie, the white kid who thinks he's a Hispanic gangster in the whole movie with like bleach blonde hair because I had blonde tips at some point
Really?
when I was in like 6th, 7th grade, maybe 8th grade. I don't know. Can't recall. But yeah, that summer was the bleach blonde tip era.
Oh, yeah.
And like, if you were cool, you had bleach blonde tips. So I'll go with Stevie.
Okay.
But anyway, let's get some of these fun facts. Scott Yeagman, who wrote the story and screenplay for this film, worked as a high school substitute teacher in Los Angeles for 7 years. Yeagman claimed 90% of the film's material is based on incidents that had either happened to him or to other teachers in real life. So this is, yeah, for sure, one of those that you watch and you're thinking, there's definitely some source material going on here. Someone's seen some of this shit in real life, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Do you believe that?
Do I believe that this 90% of this actually happened to this guy? Probably not.
Well,
come on.
There's a part of the movie
a little
where,
embellished.
Yeah, there were part of the movie where I knew that going in. I'm like, wait a second here, bud. I don't know if I can buy this, but
yeah, what are the chances all this happens to him? But again, it could be other teachers. Next one, you're gonna love this one. Nicolas Cage and Gary Sinise were considered to play the role of Trevor Garfield. Go ahead.
I mean, I can see Gary Sinise doing it.
Yeah.
I feel like this role needs
Cage.
Nick Cage, though, dog. Holy smokes! And that's a '90s Nick Cage. Like, that's in the height of his powers. And imagine him being in this movie. I can't even think of it.
Well, what's the movie that he does in Louisiana, where he's the cop?
Yeah, Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans.
That character in this movie.
I mean, it's just. What? I don't think he's serious enough to do this role. I mean, he can, I guess, but at that time, I'm seeing Nicolas Cage as the guy from Face Off or something, you know?
Dude, it would be so insane watching him play this role, dude. It would be incredible. In order to capitalize on the success of the film Dangerous Minds, here we go. This film was titled in Spain as 187 More Dangerous Minds, just to kind of reiterate the parallel of those two movies. And then popular fan theory, Samuel L. Jackson's character is in a coma. The whole movie, or the whole moving to LA arc, is his own imagination. Cesar was a former student who killed himself. That track with you?
Yeah. Because, I'll tell you why, because at some point in the movie, you're like, this is so absurd that I have to believe that there's something to the fact that this guy is just in a coma, because he gets shanked in the beginning of the movie and then it just cuts like a year later and he's in LA. And like, did he die? Did he get stabbed to death?
So then what's the whole, Cesar was a student who killed himself. This guy's in a coma and he's imagining that this whole shit's happening. Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense.
It seems unrealistic that some of the things are happening. Like, hey, why don't you just come over to my house to this girl?
Yeah, right.
I'll tutor you.
He's
like,
gooning.
Dude, do you not understand the implications there, bud, when you're suggesting such a thing like that? And I think to myself, I go, this is all revenge fantasy of being a teacher and having to deal with unruly kids, and then
coma gooning, coming
across these maniac fellow teachers. And it's like,
fair enough.
Maybe this guy's imagining this. Yeah.
You have me partially sold. So let's get into some of these keynote scenes. This opening with Samuel L. Jackson biking across the Brooklyn Bridge. Like, can you take Samuel L. Jackson serious after his recent movie roles and his commercials that he does?
Yeah, kind
of.
Recently, I don't know.
He's just over the top.
Yeah, he's done. I mean, he's done so many movies. It's hard to kind of gauge at. It's because I see his Marvel character just emerge whenever I see it.
Yeah, dude. So, end of the day, I think Samuel L. Jackson's actually a really good actor. These comedy roles that he's doing recently, not a comedy, but, just over-the-top characters, Django. But yeah, I think he's actually a really good actor. I think he kills it in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, he does these panic attacks throughout the film, and they actually they land. Like, I think he has, wouldn't say range, but you see, and we'll get into it, like a ton of emotions in this movie with him. And his whole character arc, and it sells, man. Like, I think he kills it.
He's got a good look where someone says something and it cuts back to his face and he's just kind of, I can't believe this person said that. look on his face. He does that really well.
Definitely. Oh, yeah. He's got some good faces, for sure.
The thoughts on his hairline, though? Would it surprise you to find out that I see him biking across this bridge? And I'm like, Samuel Jackson is straight up bald.
He's bald selling.
Now,
How old do you think he is in this movie?
I don't know. This is another actor who's ageless to me.
Yeah?
35?
He was actually 48, my friend.
Dude.
So
he's pretty
go
old.
easy on his hairline.
And, yeah, fair enough. But he's pretty old in real life. And I don't understand how this man's doing it. He's, we say that a lot about a lot of actors, that they're just ageless and everything. But this is the mid-90s, dude. And he doesn't look that different from now.
Yeah, it's a good way of putting it. Yeah, he just definitely has a look to him, and it seems like he actually doesn't age. That's a good point. But you're talking about the cinematography. I love this opening sequence where they're in New York, and it's like this super intense blue hue to it, and also super hazy looking, which kind of feels like a little bit of a dream sequence. We were talking about the whole coma thing. Like I just love the way it's shot this first 10 minutes.
Well, yeah, I mean, New York, blue, dark hues. He moved, and then it's LA, yellow, and
very nice contrast.
But the haziness across all of it, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, it's a nice look.
Metal detector in the school in the 90s.
Yeah,
you remember that,
dude?
You remember going into school and having metal detectors?
We didn't have them, but we had to. We had I wonder why. We couldn't take backpacks around though. We had to keep trapper keepers. Which led to book checking. We talked about this before, I believe, where you book check people.
Yeah.
Smash their trapper out of their hands and their books and it goes all over. But yeah, no metal detectors. But I do recall like a violent era in the 90s where they were like, okay, like going to have metal detectors in some schools, which I think they still do to this day. Some schools.
Is that post-Columbine?
I don't know. When was Columbine? I think this was 99. This is probably going on in these schools well before Columbine.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
So then Garfield brings this book covered in 187 scribble to the principal, played by hero actor Richard Reel. You recall him? He's, everyone probably remembers him as Tom Sibikowski in Office Space. Epic role. Remember this guy?
Oh yeah. Jump to conclusions.
He's jumped to conclusions about. Yup, dude, that's the guy. So he's basically more concerned about this book being damaged than the actual threat towards Garfield. It's like, this guy's okay, which I believe had something to do with the writer and director, because apparently a kid threatened him and his family, and he told the principal, and there's this whole big falling out, and the kid, I guess, went to prison or so. I don't know what happened, but this tracks because this actually happened to this guy.
Yeah, well, the school system, I mean, what are you going to do? You're putting all these kids in a box together.
Yeah. Well,
what's he going to kick them out of school? Yeah. Because he wrote on this guy's textbook?
Well, he threatened them. So, get you a little bit of trouble. But anyway, as you were saying, you got this sick transition with this beautiful looking LA. Still, you have this hazy camera angle. And I mentioned this when we covered Gleaming the Cube, but these California high schools, these campuses, even though this one's a little bit shitty, I don't know if it's maybe just nostalgia because I'm Unk now and like I miss high school days, but kind of rad, dude. These campuses, I'll be like, I wish I grew up in a California high school campus. It'd be awesome.
And what is that? Is that because the East Coast had all these schools set up from years ago?
They're more outdoors.
Different architecture?
I feel like. Yeah, different architecture, I think, actually sits well with me. I don't know if I'm sitting here talking about architecture of a freaking high school. But yeah, man, the character of Garfield, this guy, as you mentioned, Christ-pilled, just wants to help kids learn. And he's trying to get these kids out of this like perpetual treadmill of not finishing school or like doing nothing afterwards, becoming lifers. And I feel like by the end of this movie, you kind of feel bad for this guy. You know what I mean? Guy goes through some shit.
Well, I mean, it's
Garfield.
Seems like he doesn't get it. The reason why I'm saying that about the principal is because the principal's been through this before, probably. He sends a kid out of school. What's going to happen? The guy's a criminal. He's going to go to jail. I mean, he goes to jail anyway for stabbing him. But the thing is like sending him out, expelling the kid from school. They've probably been down that road a million times by now. So it's like, what are you going to do? you're signing up to be a teacher in this insane world of like violent students. You probably should understand that the principal is not going to do anything about the student threatening you, because that's happened a million times already. So I feel like this guy is naive a little bit at the beginning, and once he gets stabbed, then he learns a little bit.
Well, he does say it to Ellen later on in the movie, which we'll cover. But yeah, it's part of his whole arc throughout the entire film. But you mentioned it in the intro here. Enter John Hurd playing Dave Childress. People might recognize him as Kevin McAllister's dad. His character, man, absolutely rules. He's got the Hawaiian shirt, Jesus cleats, drinking on the job. Likely the only way he's getting through day to day with these kids, I'd imagine.
Do you have any teachers like that?
Nah, dude. Our teachers were pretty blasé. No one quite eccentric as this, but yeah, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. No one that really stood out. Why did you?
No, not really. I mean, this guy seems super over the whole education system already, but he's just in it to get a paycheck.
Wonder why.
Well, yeah. But he goes down like the path of not caring and not being able to do anything about it. Garfield's in his class, and by accident, goes to open the desk drawer, and my mind instantly, before like the camera starts zooming in on the desk, and I'm like, there's going to be a gun in there, isn't there? There's going to be a gun in there. Sure enough, he opens the drawer, and there's a friggin' revolver in the... I'm like, oh, yep, here we go.
Dude, is that the gun of choice putting in your desk drawer at school?
No.
Revolver?
No.
Yeah.
But this guy is a
because then he goes through his whole gun
nut.
collection. Yeah, but he should know better. It's like, dude, a revolver is not the choice in that situation. Am I crazy for that?
I don't think you're crazy. I don't know if any gun is really the best choice, but...
Well, obviously, but I'm just saying it's a pretty dumb choice.
I think that it's a bit flashy. It's a bit large. So maybe you go with something a little bit smaller. And I'm not just saying that because we know he has the smaller guns. Why? Because he goes through all his catalog of guns in a very schizophrenic manner.
Which we'll get to later in the episode. So kind of interesting first interaction in the classroom, meaning the student is tasked with getting high schoolers interested in participating when they could actually give a shit less. So it's like, he can't just go back and forth talking shit with them. Like, he has to be more tactful in his approach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool. Like seeing that kind of unravel.
Dude, I don't know how to convince people of anything. So I'd be horrible at this job. Like,
exactly, dude. Let alone 18-year-old kids.
We're talking
30
about
in this movie.
We're talking about senior year of high school, it seems like here, right? They're graduating at the end, so they're seniors.
Yep.
The battle has been lost for people, these school students like this, by the time they're in their senior year, dog. Like, the American education system is probably a failure. Like, why are we teaching kids science at age 18 unless they want to be there and learn it?
Yeah.
Like, we're pretty far into behavior being set at 18. It's going to take a monumental effort to change behavior. So for this guy to just go in there and be like, hey, guys, we're learning science today, and these kids aren't even paying attention to him, like, I don't know what you do.
Well, he knows exactly what to do. He does that centrifugal force in the opening scene at the New York school. He's like, hey, watch this. And they're like, oohed and awed by it.
Well, I mean,
I guess that's the only dissecting animal. What is he? He tranquilizes the mouse or something.
I see scenes like that, and I think to myself, though, we never did any of that shit in high school. Like, you don't
You
just
didn't have Garfield as your teacher, dog.
Well, that's true, but how many times can a teacher just come up with some random science experiment to dazzle the minds of these students who otherwise would not be paying attention? Like, there's a lot of being in school that's just doing the lessons in the book, right?
Right.
It's not just sitting doing, like, poisoning a mouse or what. It's like, we already mentioned No Dangerous Minds. Have you ever seen The Substitute with Tom Berenger?
I feel like I may have. I'm not sure.
The premise is essentially the same, right? This substitute teacher goes to this school of unruly kids, right? But the difference is that Berenger just gets in there and starts beating the shit out of the students.
Oh, I know this movie. Yeah, I haven't seen it all the way through, but I know what you're talking about for sure.
That's certainly one way to play it.
That's certainly a choice. Who do you got as hotter in this movie, Rita or Ellen?
Ellen's hot.
Whoa. I'm going to go ahead and disagree with you, my friend.
Okay.
And I'm allowed to say that because Rita is played by Karina Arroyave, I think it's pronounced. She's 27 years old in this film. So my question to you is, does she pull off 18 here? Does it sell?
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think so. I don't know how old Benny.
I don't know, man.
Benny, the actor who played Benny, was, but he looked like he was
Benny Chacon's like 40, bro.
Yeah.
No, I definitely go with Rita on this one. I think she's hotter. This Ellen chick isn't doing it for me.
She's not doing it for you.
Sorry.
Okay, that's fair.
Nah.
That's fair.
Also, point out that Clifton Collins Jr. is also 27 years old filming this. So it's like they casted all these high schoolers in their late 20s. I guess to heighten the intimidation factor of the movie, which I believe works. But there's a couple cut scenes where they're in the classroom talking, Ellen and Garfield, and it cuts to these dudes that are just I don't know if they're playing basketball or whatever the case was, but they're outside the room kind of looking in, intimidating her. And the dude literally looks like he's like 35 years old. Like, this is terrifying, but A, why does he have his shirt off? B, why is this 35-year-old dude allowed in a school?
Well, maybe he's on probation too. I don't, but the thing is, if you have people that are 17 or 18 in real life, you're right about the intimidation factor. Can you sell to an audience that these dudes that are 17, 18 are actually intimidating when Samuel Jackson is actually mogging them throughout the whole movie?
You think?
Yeah, he's much bigger than all these kids.
No.
Height-wise.
He's more intimidating. Well, there's that. So we're finally introduced to our boy Cesar, played by Clifton Collins Jr. What are your thoughts on this king, Clifton Collins Jr.?
Clifton Collins Jr., possibly our guy candidate that seemingly fell off the map somewhere.
Like it?
Every time I see him, I think of him in Rules of Attraction, playing a coked out drug dealer with blonde hair. Absolutely just absurd role that he's in. That
I remember that.
I don't know. It's seared into my memory, but he's in a bunch of stuff and he's pretty tremendous. It makes you wonder though, like what happened to this guy?
I don't know. I mean, I think he typecasted obviously, but I don't think he has a ton of range. He's not this like, but what he does very well. I will say that. I think he's a good actor.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I had it in my head when I was watching it, but this coma theory, like I think at this point I start to see like he's got these unruly students in his new classroom here. There's a revenge fantasy going on. If he is in a coma and he's thinking all this up, this is like the perfect fantasy of like revenge on the students that stabbed me. And now there's a damsel in distress fantasy too, where I'm going to help this woman that seems like she's in trouble and ask her out.
Yeah, but there wouldn't be all this drama because when you think about it, the actress does it very well in terms of playing, traumatized damsel in distress, so to speak. But in his coma fantasy, wouldn't she not just be all over him and have no issues? And he doesn't really save her. I mean, I guess he kind of does.
Well,
to a degree.
He doesn't see himself as that way, I don't think. He sees himself as this hero coming to save everyone.
It's a good theory. Now it's starting to grow on me, but still, I'm not buying it. So then Benny and Cesar are down in this river basin, and Benny doesn't think twice to kill this dude for tagging over their logo. Number one, it's a little bit outlandish the way he just walks up to him and just shoots him. He's like, I gotta call my PO in 15 minutes, and just walks up and just straight up shoots this guy like 4 times. But also, you remember tagging from the 90s?
Yes, unfortunately. It was some...
Really?
Dude, I don't know.
No tagging where I came from.
I live in the suburbs outside of Philly growing up, and there was like one person that tagged the whole town all over bridges and stuff. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? Like, I just want to like launch him off the bridge. Like, dude, you're in Orland, Pennsylvania. You're not in like you're not in Philly, dog.
Yeah, there's minimal tagging where I grew up. Some bridges got it, but it wasn't the big thing. But I just recall it being like a popular elsewhere. Like you heard of it, but we didn't really tag where I was from. So, which cuts to Garfield humiliating Cesar in front of the class. Cesar. He's asked him to read when he knows that he can't. Like, is this the best approach? Like, they're not really beefing yet. So, interesting choice to just call him out in front of his peers and make him look like an idiot.
Yeah. Why did he do this?
Right.
You know what I mean? What was the point? So, like, it's not really a good tactic if you're trying to get this dude to care about learning, because you're basically just making a fool out of him in front of the class. He's not going to react well to that. But I'm seeing this and I think to myself, wait a second, dude, we're in senior year of high school. How did this guy get this far?
Bro.
And he can't read. He can't fucking read?
Yep. Yeah, that was a thing in my high school where a lot of athletes would kind of get by to their senior year and literally not be able to read by their senior year. So
how? Like, it seems insane to me. But yeah, like, this is probably happening in real life.
Oh yeah, and I can tell you, I can attest to it. It certainly happens. Quick side note though, this teacher rep, I don't know if you recall this guy with the glasses, short guy. His name's Highland. Mm-hmm. He's actually the dude. He's the guy who plays the dude from Big Lebowski, his landlord.
The dude's landlord?
The crazy dance. Remember this?
Yeah.
You recall this guy? Walter's like, all right, so yeah, when we're done, with this whole thing here, we can go in. Yes, Donnie, we can go to the In-N-Out Burger. It's like this guy, this landlord in this movie, man, does the funniest shit. And he's like, oh yeah, also, dude, tomorrow's actually the 5th. He's like, oh, far out, man. And he's like, so if you could, just slip it underneath my door. And then he just gives him this like little fist pump. He's like, yeah. He walks away. So good. It's totally different character in this movie too, by the way. But both are like minimal characters, but done really well. So Garfield attempts to, you referenced this earlier, but he attempts to tutor Rita, and she immediately thinks that like she needs to pay him back. So she starts stripping down, right? Like she needs to sleep with him. But I'm going to make the case, and I think you said it earlier, that Garfield sends kind of a weird vibe when they're talking in the library and he gets like a foot away from her face and he's like, yeah. And she's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. Bro, what do you think she's going to think when you're a foot away from her? Maybe we should go back to my house. You know what I mean?
It's unbelievably naive to think that this couldn't lead to some kind of sexual harassment kind of thing by the superintendent and then getting your ass fired. Like, this can't be real at this. This is what I mean. Like this, I just keep believing this theory more and more. But this can't be real. Where this guy is just, oh, I'm gonna tutor this young woman because, oh, it looks like she really wants to learn. And then she gets back to his apartment and she just gets naked on his couch. Like, Doug, what did you think was gonna happen? Like, what?
Yeah, so, agreed. It's over the top.
We had a male teacher in my high school who got fired because this is back in the day, he was chatting on AOL Instant Messenger with an underage female from another neighboring high school. And I don't know the specifics or anything of how that actually came about, but who it was really was this other dude that we were like friends with that went to the high school, and he's just fucking with this dude the whole time, prints out the whole thing. And it started circulating around school. And as soon as that happens, it got in the hands of the principal and he got fired.
Did the authorities get involved?
Not to my knowledge, but I don't know. Did you ever have anything like that in your school?
I vaguely recall something with a teacher. I do know that like a coach or something got fired for trying to hook up with a student, or maybe did. But yeah, dude, that shit still goes on too often. School's kind of cringe. So then Garfield, he installs this camera in the room, and it's like this 90s pixelated black and white camera. You can't see shit if something were to happen, right? And it's like, does anything ever even come of that? They have him install the camera because Cesar steals his watch, but I don't think they ever actually find anything out with this camera.
No. I don't think anything ever
except for the fact
that it's be a really weird scene.
Well, it's a weird scene because it shows this like under camera up at their faces when they're talking, which shouldn't even be there. But when they do when Benny and Cesar trash the room, I think it does show the camera. They like broke the camera, kind of letting them know it's them, I guess.
Oh yeah,
That's the only reason it's in there.
You're right.
But still, it's such a weird little scene. It's like just so unnecessary. And it's like, it makes you wonder why the hell is this camera angle from shooting from under their faces, having them talk? It's like, it makes no sense whatsoever.
That seems like a scene that the teacher who had all these stories of happening in real life, that seems like that scene was injected into the movie because it actually happened to a teacher in real life where he installed a camera in his room and then,
Oh, sure.
you know,
But I'll say it gives more validation to your theory of this whole dream sequence coma thing going on. So there you go.
the perspective up. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So like at one point, I'm like, what is even happening in this movie? Garfield and Ellen are on a date or something.
Yeah, dude.
Now,
random.
I don't think that it's implied that this is some kind of like relationship building because you're at one point you're like, are they actually dating where they're into each other? I'm like, they don't kiss or anything or get physical at all. Like, what's happening here?
It's
And
weird. Because
he flips out on her and he just in a car. This is another random weird scene.
Yeah.
He
Car
flips
scene.
out on her and then
Very
he
weird.
just has road rage and flips out on the guy behind him. Implications, is a movie like this getting made in 2026?
He's like, I'm trying to talk to the woman. Back up. It's like, yeah, dude, I think that it's meant to show that he's starting to unwind. The layers are peeling back.
Mhm.
These guys, he's starting to get punished. These kids, they're getting to him. Okay.
Punish
That's
Garfield.
what's going on here. She was into him. He's a hero. Childress is like, oh, Childress, worships the ground you walk on. He thinks you're a hero. But maybe her first instinct was correct. He might be a little bit of a bad boy,
He's losing his mind.
Possibly. We'll get to this because this is like, actually, I think really good character arc, and you start to see him really start to lose it. So the dog, I know this is touchy for you. You're a doggy guy, but they hang the dog from his chain, right? And like I mentioned, this might be the trigger, if you notice, in the movie that sets Garfield off because he's, her hero. And my first thing watching this, thinking, I'm like, it's so dumb the way that they filmed it because there's this long, super long chain that runs along the back of her backyard. And it's like, dude, it's just enough chain for if this dog jumped over, it would die and like hang itself. But also there's like, just perpendicular to that is this wall that it could just jump over and be in the backyard. It's like, it makes no sense whatsoever.
It is kind of
dumb, but
janky looking. They kill the dog. Wild.
Yeah, you hate to see that. But it's immediately followed up with this great line by Cesar. So it's up where he's on the overpass on the highway and he's tagging, of course, and he's stoned. But he sees this coyote and he goes, "Stupid gato." And then he gets whacked with this arrow and he like looks at it for a second. He goes, "Stupid Indians." It's like such a good line, bro. But this is what I'm saying. This is where Garfield draws the line in the sand and he just straight up cuts his finger off. Not to mention, you find out the next scene that Benny is dead.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Garfield?
Not only is he dead, but he died of heroin overdose, or at least there's heroin in his system, morphine in his system. And
yeah.
I'm like, oh, dude, he has a bow on his wall.
Who does?
Garfield. And I didn't even notice that earlier. It's in his apartment or whatever. And
I never noticed that.
Oh, dude. Because I was like, why the fuck would the person taking out Cesar here, why would they be using a bow and arrow? I'm like, this is so...
To inject them.
Right.
It is crazy, dude. Trust me. It is
this
crazy.
This dude's got a bow on his wall, so it must have been him, yeah. Because there's ambiguity of who actually did all this stuff.
It's a long shot, for sure. I never really thought about how dumb that is and impractical to get him, drugged. But yeah, it's a little bit far-fetched.
Could have just also walked up behind him and put the thing in him.
That's true.
But
yeah. Oh, man. Well, you hate to see it. But so then Ellen busts Stevie for sending this email, if you recall this in class. And what exactly, because she's talking about, oh, we're working on software and da-da-da. So now she's like this aficionado on this 90s DOS, whatever program that they're using. It's like, what does she use to pinpoint this email? Is this C++? If you notice when she's doing all this like back end hacking.
I have no idea. She makes a point to turn off the anonymous server.
I saw that.
Oh my god, dude! What the hell? It's like this, dude. What an insane.
What is this
scene.
DOS magic?
The email, the teacher fucks N-words, and the camera just cuts to the one black guy in class, and he has this look like,
Yeah.
wait, what? I'm like, oh, get it.
Stevie's like, what? What fuck?
Because, you know,
such a...
like, it's how like on the nose that they have to make it, where it's like, oh, they send this racist email, and it's like, well, we need the black guy to have a reaction, because get it, because he's black. Like, you know, it's like, oh my god, dude.
Yeah, it's over the top. So I was talking about it before with Benny. It never really specifies who kills Benny. You think it was Garfield? Because it's intentionally left ambiguous.
Probably because he had morphine in his system. And
well,
curiously enough, well, because earlier in the movie, Garfield does that experiment on the rat and he uses morphine.
Yeah. Oh, was it? I thought it was just like some kind of drug that...
that's why, what's his name, gets shot in the chest with an arrow with a syringe in it, because he gets injected with morphine.
Oh, I thought it was like a drug where it just knocks you out.
Well, it does, but it's the morphine that he has, and he's like, oh, it's from my private collection, when he's using it on the rat. And I'm like, dude, this guy's just got liquid morphine. Like, how's he have access to all this exactly? Like, what?
So you're going with he kills Benny?
Yeah, I think so.
Because at the end, he's like, you chopped up my finger and you killed my boy Benny. I want to hear you say it. And he's like, all right, I did it. But I'm assuming that he's saying like, I did it with your finger, not necessarily. He's just saying it to make him, make his next move. But I don't know. I guess all things point to the fact that he did. But he drops a great line here, Garfield. He says, when Ellen confronts him in his house, he's like, I admire you, Ellen. Like you, I used to think that the world was a great place where everyone lived by the same standard I did. Then some kid with a nail showed me I was living in his world, a world where righteousness is not rewarded. So it's like, now you're really starting to see this dude get blackpilled to life. And it's like, yeah, you can't get through this environment being this righteous dude and everything's going to work out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but when you say like righteous, like maybe what he's doing is righteous. Because
it is.
These people that he's attacking are people that probably it's just over for him. There's no getting through to them. Yeah. Benny looks like he's in his mid-30s and he's shooting people for no reason, for tagging some wall. I don't think you're going to be able to get through to this guy. He's already on probation. He's just in school just to get over his probation. Maybe not the best guy. And, he's the guy's a murderer. He's killing a murderer.
Yeah.
Like Ellen's naive, and what's his name? Childress is just the opposite. He's not righteous, but he's also not naive. So it's like two opposite ends of the spectrum, and then you have Garfield in the middle, who isn't naive anymore, but he's also not just apathetic to everything. He's acting in a righteous manner, in a certain. You could look at it that way, I guess.
Yeah, and it's funny because Garfield even says to him when they're in his garage, he's like, now you're looking at me with this self-righteous attitude. What gives? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because he's joking around and he's drunk and stuff, and he just gets like super serious and pissed. But this is where, like I said, he starts to unravel. He grips Stevie up in the bathroom and just straight up threatens to kill him. He's like, and he like stops himself. And then, dude, Stevie runs out to the schoolyard to tell Caesar, what happened. And you're hit with this Kino 90s overload of aesthetics. You got parted hair, baggy jeans, chain wallet on this like kind of playground area or whatever it is, or they're having like this fundraiser.
Everyone's outside.
This is what I miss from the 90s.
Dude, Stevie, if you look at Stevie,
no phones.
He is the exact guy who later in life did a couple tours in Iraq, went house to house in Fallujah, and
yeah, for sure.
He's the number one GWAT vet later in life. That's the whole look of this guy.
I could see that. Yeah,
America needs people like them to be in the military to run our military.
So I just mentioned it where Childress walks Garfield through his gun arsenal, You're the gun expert. What are your thoughts?
Dude, it's totally schizophrenic. Like, there's zero gun safety going on. This guy's drunk, and he's just pulling guns out, flipping them around,
Yep.
flagging Garfield nonstop. Like, in terms of the utility, it's like this guy just he went to a gun store and was like, yeah, I'll just take one of every caliber. Like, he's got a 22, 380, 9 mil,
Literally.
357, 45 ACP. Like, it's just kind of ridiculous. And he goes through each one. Like, this is from Czechoslovakia. Like, okay, dude.
And he says what's the last one? The Glock, where it's like the lightest gun at the time.
Yeah.
People are printing guns now. How about that?
Dude, Glocks, they're plastic, bro. The barrel and the trigger mechanism, it's metal, but the rest is made of plastic, so it's light. Like space age technology in the 90s. Holy smokes.
Literally. Think about it, though. So it cuts to Cesar watching Deer Hunter, and this is where he gets the idea of playing Russian roulette. I'm not sure if we talked about it on this podcast before, but if I recall, you're not a big fan of Deer Hunter, the movie, which is
it's not
Vietnam season film.
We are in Vietnam season right now. It's not really my favorite movie. Like, a lot of the movie, it's just this long wedding scene and everything.
That's true.
I think just it gets by with like a really good scene.
That's true.
But damn, is it a good one? So
yeah, all right. Garfield gets the news that he's fired by the end of the year from Garcia, and not for nothing, like I mentioned before, the development of this character, I think the writing is really, really good. So it's like you watch his optimism at the beginning of the movie slowly turn to fear. Then it becomes anger. And then finally, this last scene here, it's like despair, right? It's like the bottoms drops out. He's kind of crushed a little bit because at the end of the day, he is a righteous dude and he just wants to be a teacher and he wants to help these kids out. And again, I'm not saying that this is There Will Be Blood, but I just appreciate the storytelling here. You know what I mean?
I mean, it's a pretty good character arc. He's crying in this scene.
Yeah. Good range by Samuel L. Jackson. Just saying. So, next scene, ultra keynote. This is the scene of the movie. You have Garfield's car coming over the horizon, and it's like golden hour. This music starts playing. It's almost like Indian music. Kind of weird vibe, though. But, dude, this sets the scene for such a good ending. Thoughts?
This scene where he's coming over horizon is so good, and they didn't have to add it in the movie at all. But it's just awesome that they did, because yes, it is very Kino. You look at these scenes and it's just vibing. It's this look of LA,
dude.
Golden
Yes.
hue to everything. A punished man, Garfield, going home.
On his way to the inevitable, right? His number's been called. But anyhow, so, it's a scene set. You have these guys in the car. I think it's like Benny. No, not Benny. It's Cesar, Stevie, and I guess the guy Paco or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But they're all in there and they're shaving their heads. They're getting like their loadouts and everything. And they think they're going to roll up on Garfield and they're going to scare him. Nah. Dude's already in his house, completely dialed, right? Has like a smirk on his face because he's like, I'm not scared anymore. They're not going to get the better. He knows he's already determined what's going to happen, right? One of them's going to die. Not that he knows that they're going to play roulette, but outside, I just want to point out, it's a pretty popular cut when they're walking towards the house with the shaved heads. You see it in some like mashup videos, but
yeah.
Cesar's walking towards the house with this gun, and he's just looking menacing and scary as fuck. Like, dude, I know you know what I'm talking about. Pretty incredible scene.
Well, yeah, when you get a guy, Clifton Collins Jr. isn't exactly the most menacing looking guy. He's not that big or anything. He's not that tall.
He is with a shaved head, bro.
But yeah,
he's certainly scary as hell with a gun in his hand.
And you're like, these are some unhinged kids going to kill a guy. And why exactly? They're just beefing. Why does he want to kill him? I don't know. And
he's got to keep his rep, bro.
You're seeing an unhinged man.
Yes. So this is it. Epic scene. They're inside playing Russian roulette. And it's cool because you finally see Cesar and Garfield have an honest conversation, right? So Cesar, as soon as he tells Garfield to pull, he just straight up pulls twice, right? Off the cuff, doesn't care. And then he pulls a third time. And this is where I think Cesar gets a little bit shook because self-preservation kicks in, right? But he has to keep his rep, so he has to keep acting hard.
Mm-hmm.
Then Cesar finally pulls, and dude, you want to talk about good faces in movies. He has this like little eye twitch while he's like still scowling at Garfield. I'm like, dude, this is epic. This is such a cool look.
I have to agree with you. He has this look where he goes from the hard exterior and it breaks down and you start to see the real person come through. And it's in subtle movements of his face. It was just brilliant acting.
But then that's when Garfield pops off. He's like, your entire way of life is bullshit. Macho is bullshit. And then Cesar, kind of just good acting too, jumps up from the table. And he's like, it's all I got. Like saying that the macho lifestyle is all he has. You know what I mean? He's almost in tears. So then he finally, obviously Garfield dies, but he takes a final pull because he's like, you know what? I'm not going to let this bitch beat me or whatever he says. But it's weird because they're still beefing. Obviously Garfield's dead, but it's almost like he has this somewhat of respect for him. The fact that he was, willing to stand up to him and see him.
Without fear.
It's yeah. So it's like come full circle. I just think that's a really cool scene. You know what I mean? Between the two of them, like you build up the characters all movie long, hating each other, and the whole arc of Garfield's character with the limitations of Cesar, and it's just like a nice touch, like a nice bow on the end of it. But you have this last scene where Rita reads her essay, and it's somewhat of a tribute to Garfield, which is a nice touch, like the whole graduation piece. You see Stevie's parents there, and they're obviously rich, and he's like, because he just knows he's a fraud, right?
Yeah.
But then it cuts to the morgue, and the last image you see pretty much is Samuel L. Jackson's naked body with a large amount of pubes sticking out. Like, this is an interesting way to end the movie.
I guess at the coroner they put like a little towel over your cock for some reason. These people are dead, but we got to cover their cocks.
Yeah. What an interesting choice to end the movie on. But it does show Cesar kind of looking at him. His head's turned and he's looking at Garfield, which kind of plays into your coma sequence, like a final send off, if you will.
He finally died from the coma. Yeah.
Besides misguided youth and the system setting these kids up to fail, what do you think this movie's about?
Well, I don't think that the system necessarily sets them up to fail at the beginning. I think the parents did it first. Where are these kids' parents? Like these people, they don't know how to act because the parents are not in the picture. So they adopt some father figure from society and become tough guy gangsters because they think that gives them power, right? They're trying to impose their will over the external world, but all gangster types, they can't impose their will on their internal world, meaning they can't do what's necessary when it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And what's necessary is you're in a situation where you either are powerful enough to leave school and become a gangster and become king of the world. What's the reality of that? That's not realistic at all, because there's another gang called the government that will put you in jail that's way more powerful than you are. So your alternative is, well, gee, maybe I better just sit down and actually study and become successful in life. But they don't ever get that because no one of their behavior model is from their parents, and their parents weren't there. So they don't understand, like, oh, I actually have to do work. I have to bend my will to do things that I don't necessarily want to do, like sit down and study. Yeah. And then the education system fails them because then you got a kid over here who's in senior year who can't read. How did he get there? What are they doing there? What are those kids even doing in school, dude? They're just there. School is basically babysitters for these people. The kids know it because they're like, what am I doing here? I have to be here for some reason. But they're not strong enough to just leave and, I guess get a job or become an actual gangster. So they're in this kind of gray area in
Purgatory.
between. Yeah. It's also like about if you're a teacher, dude, you got to fully commit to doing what's right. Like you can't be scared or bullied like Ellen, right? You cannot become black-pilled that kids aren't listening to you like Childress.
Right.
But then again, at the end of the day, look what it cost this guy, his life. What's the point?
He was willing to die to get through to one kid.
A Pyrrhic victory. That's why her essay at the end of the movie is about a Pyrrhic victory. Because he made his point. Stevie now has his black hair back and is sitting in the crowd, might do something with his life. I don't know. Rita might do something with her life. Ellen throws her teaching certificate in the trash because she knows she's not real teacher material. But you're dead, so it doesn't matter.
Right. No, it's good synopsis. I like it.
Sir, what's your Kino rating for this movie? I know it's going to be very controversial. Here we go. Let's hear it.
This movie's an 8. I think my baseline of a Kino movie is just like an 8. And it's probably heavy on nostalgia because I just thought it was badass when I was a kid. But I think it's actually a great watch, man. I mean, it does show a little bit how fucked the system is. And so I guess you could say in certain areas. And I think it's cool how far this guy goes, you know what I mean, to teach troubled kids and try to have them see the light. But it is nice that he gets through to read it in the end. And, you know, the goal is to save one kid or whatever. Clearly not worth dying over. But I don't know, man. I think that the character arc of this guy, like I mentioned before, my major takeaway was, you know, his optimism in the beginning, you know, slowly turns to anger, or should I say fear, then anger, and finally just devastation. It's cool. It's like one of those movies that just gives you like a glimpse into one of these. It's like a shock factor thing. You know what I mean? Why do people watch cops? Why do people watch, you know, police videos on YouTube? It's more of a shock factor thing. So I think it's a good watch, man. For me, it's an 8. This is a movie I could probably watch once every other year. If it's on, I'm definitely gonna see it through. That's me. But what do you think?
I give this movie a 7. I liked it a lot better than I thought it would when I saw parts of it when I was younger. And I think it's the best of these teacher versus unruly student movies that came out in the 90s. For some strange reason, they all came out. It seems like it's more realistic in the sense of there's no big fight scenes or anything, right? It's just it's like a man losing his mind in this profession that he just can't change. He can't change anything. So he just starts losing his mind. And it seems way more realistic than, you know, Tom Berenger fighting students. I don't know.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, folks, if you haven't seen it, check out 187. You can have a firsthand look at what Samuel L. Jackson's coma would look like. But we appreciate you listening. Like and subscribe, share an episode. You could email us at regularmenthol@gmail.com or check out the website, www.regularmenthol.com. What do we got next week, my friend?
Okay, we're covering Mel Gibson, The Patriot. Incredible 2000 epic.
Uncle Mel. This is a first, aside from Apocalypto, where he was directing, but this is the first seeing his acting on screen.
Mel.
Uncle Mel. Until then, catch you in the next one.